I wanted to put my lightsaber on the shelf today and light it up, but it's extremely loud and also extremely bright now. So the upgrade has made it not very podcast friendly, I'm afraid.
All right. Well, the reason why we're here today is to talk through some of the comments that have bombarded us with that one video that Eric and I had made. It just happened to be a bit of a throwaway piece of content that kind of caught on, but
the broad spectrum of commentary.
There's a lot. So I'm not sure how this is.
Us.
Right? I'm not sure how this is going to get broken up, but this may just be a bunch of collection of shorts. This may get put out as like a smaller piece. I'm not really sure. But first thing I want to start with is we are using software. We're not idiots. We know what map distortion is. And yes, we have accounted for that. So just once and for all, I'm going to move this around so everyone can see the thing changing. See how the size is getting bigger and smaller? Okay. And then just hit this RAR button to rotate things around.
So this is software that accounts for map distortion for you.
Yes. Okay. It's called truesize.net. And if you look there, we basically got, I think I went a little bit too far, but we basically got Seattle to London.
I think your mom told me about that website. Truesize.net.
God damn it. All right. But anyway, that is issue number 1, I think, solved here. So yes, we did account for the Mercator projections, and we were going to spend a little bit of time playing with that, I think, today. So, Ray, was anything that stuck out that you wanted to address first of all?
They're just so wonderful. I love your listeners. Oh, goodness. They tell you don't read the comments, so I never do.
Yes, it's good advice.
There were some really rude remarks, and then other curious remarks, and then a variety of vaguely tangential remarks.
Right. Like, what does Africa have to do with?
Yeah, bro, Africa's not a country.
Africa's big too. Yeah, great. That's a complete, the Pacific Ocean's big too.
I was just waiting for a flat earther or the moon's not real. I was really hoping. But alas.
One thing I should say is that I do know other country or cities in Russia. If you look at that image on there, the St. Petersburg was the only one that I could actually read that wasn't written in Cyrillic. That's the reason why.
Yeah, I mean, there are Russian cities, and also so some of us still struggle with the old names and the new names. So for those of us who grew up during the Soviet era, I have somewhere in this house, I have a globe that's all wrong now because it was made in 1985.
Yeah, I got one at an estate sale just so I could specifically have that.
This is the globe I had in my house when I was a child.
Okay, speak of it, this map also has a look back feature, so I thought this might be a fun exercise.
You know what? My favorite look back on these kinds of websites is the look back of Poland. It's fantastically funny because we're always talking about how Poland has only been allowed to be a country for 10 minutes. Yeah, we should do the look back on Poland today. That would be my one. I think that's fun.
You want to do that first?
Sure.
Okay. So this is my choices here. You can see we can go back pretty far. How far back do you want to go?
I don't know.
1700?
Yeah, I was going to say 1600, 1700.
Okay, what we'll do is we'll pull up just Poland on its own. We'll see if it even lets us select it.
Sorry.
All right, so let's get Poland today, just so we have reference.
Oh, look at this! You can stack everybody on top of each other. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, we're going to be doing
Texas
some of that.
is bigger than France. That's crazy.
That was one of the comments. We'll come back to that. But first, let's grab Poland.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. So that's 2026 Poland. Now, what do you want to look at? 1960?
Run it in reverse. Can you run it in reverse?
There's a lot of choices in here. We can go 2010.
No, you need to do a couple hundred years ago. Do
1945?
No, you want to go before that.
38?
Even.
Just before when
Just go
Germany
to
got
just go to
uppity?
just go to 1900,
Okay.
and we'll start there.
I don't think there is a Poland this far back already.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. There's
Yeah.
there's a Poland. It gets bigger and smaller, and it's in fractions in two
Okay,
pieces,
let's try
and then there's
1800.
the Poland-Lithuanian Commonwealth. There's a whole. It's really interesting.
What was it called then?
Well, it's been called Poland on and off. Some parts of it were Polish-Lithuania. Some parts of it were still Prussia.
Prussia. That's what we
Yeah, there
need.
were a lot. Just the regions were divided up into different, like, kind of like
There we
mini
go. Okay.
countries. There you
Okay.
go.
We're getting to somewhere now. Okay. Let's see 1900 Prussia.
Let me find this one that I have.
So no Prussia in 1900?
No, I
Oh,
don't
did
think so.
Napoleon take care of that? Is that
I
what
believe so.
happened? Oh man, okay.
Okay,
Uh
here's the one. I don't know if you're not gonna be able to see this. Here we go.
I'll put it at 1.5 times. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, 1635, Polish fiefdom. What is the deluge? There's a lot of
Well,
stuff happening in a
come
very
on,
short span
Poland.
right here.
Uh-huh.
1600s were pretty tumultuous for you guys.
Check this out. Oh
And it's
God.
gone.
And
Oh,
we get the
wait,
Duchy
wait,
of
wait.
Warsaw back.
Congress is back. Okay, okay. It's making her. Oh, Austria-Hungary? So when did it get split off again?
Takes a minute.
Hmm. Looks like something happened there.
Something. Could have been something big.
Okay, Poland's back after World War One ends, it looks like.
Yes.
Oh,
So there's a whole bunch of weird business going on right there on that edge.
yeah.
And that's actually where my people are from, right through that region.
Ah, okay.
The
Oh,
Highland
oh,
people.
hello, USSR. We'll
Yeah.
revisit you in a bit too. Okay, and then I think Poland's going to disappear again for a minute.
Yeah, it does. I think it gets
Yeah,
absorbed.
1939 was kind of a rough year again.
Yep.
Oh, and they're
And
back
then we're back.
before getting up. Wait, I thought you were kind of part of USSR for a while
Yeah,
there.
but the USSR was so all of those countries right there they weren't under.
There was like a
So you know,
federation. It was
yes,
right.
sort of like how the Russian Federation kind of wanted to be again after that.
Yeah.
So Poland has its own government, but it's like a subsidiary of
Hmm.
the Soviet government. So really, it isn't until solidarity happens and our friend Lech Walesa leads our people to freedom. So then we finally become the country that we think of as Poland today, which is pretty cool. And it's a little teeny tiny place compared to a lot of other places.
Oh, so it wasn't even part of the USSR even.
Not really. It was
I thought it was.
occupado.
Ah, okay.
It was part of the Russian Federation, the Russian territory for some time before the Soviet Union, but it became its own. I don't know what the word is. Subsidiary isn't the right word, but when it's a
Right.
country, that's like a business term. But it was I guess like a puppet state, maybe would be the better term.
That
It
sounds
had
more
a
like it.
government,
Yeah.
had a government that was installed by the Soviet Union, and it was totally run by those guys.
Kind of like the same way. God, what is that country over here that Minsk is in?
Yeah, there's so the Russian Federation had a little bit of something like that going on towards the end there, and they were doing this. I guess it was probably during like the Glasnost period, and they were opening up a little bit because these countries had been forced to be part of the Soviet Union, and they really don't have that much in common. Like
No.
some of them do, some of them have a ton of stuff in common, and some of them don't. So people in the Baltic countries, like we had the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth,
The
but
Latvia,
Poles,
Estonia, all them.
yeah, but Poles and Lithuanians speak a completely different language.
Right.
So the Baltic states, the Lithuanians, the Estonians, they're genetically Slavic. They're related to us, but they speak a Roman language. They have a Latin-based language. So
okay.
that's basically where the Roman Empire stopped. And
Okay.
wherever people still speak the Slavic languages, the Cyrillic languages, those were the people who were the Vandals and the Rus. And so the Rus and the Vandals speak the Slavic language, and the Baltic people, they speak a Romanized language. So they use the Roman alphabet, and they have Roman sounds.
Huh.
And so my neighbor, Sam, is Lithuanian, and we always joke we're going to get the old Polish-Lithuanian flags and put them on our houses. Maybe like a little joke between us. But his accent even is very different from like my grandmother's accent. So, the language that he spoke growing up is not at all the same as ours. So a lot of these countries didn't want to be tied to the Soviet Union. And then there were countries that really liked it, that considered themselves Soviet.
Belarus is
yeah,
one.
and
Yeah.
Belarus
Yeah.
they really considered themselves citizens of that empire. So I think Glasnost was like this idea of maybe like giving people a little bit more choice in how their countries would be run. But the USSR was really land hungry. They didn't want to give anybody up. So they had all these regimes that were totally run by the Communist Party in the Soviet Union.